Oh, hello, Nick family. I forgot I was doing something else in the studio and took away the intro music. Hello, Nick family. Welcome to the Just Nick in the Show. Tonight we are previewing the Knicks Spurs NBA Finals. Let that set in. The Knicks are going to the NBA Finals for the first time since 1999. The Knick fan base is psyched. I'm psyched. A lot of preview shows going on, a lot of impatience. Can't wait for tomorrow night to get this started. But tonight we're focusing on where do we think the Knicks have the advantage? What challenges do the San Antonio Spurs present? And what are the keys to winning the series? And obviously, everybody on the panel feels that the Knicks are going to win in three, but we still have to be balanced in our takes. All right. So don't get on us if we talk about Wimby's. I don't even know if I want to say emerging greatness because it seems like he's arrived. I mean, this is how you put a show together. You got to talk about the other team. You can't just come in here and say, "Oh, the Knicks are going to win. Knicks are going to win. This is gonna win." Like that's what you're going to get from us. You guys already know what it is. Shout out to Jerrell with me from the beginning. Geoff called into the show one day and been here ever since. I stole Nick Nation and here he is.
I like the way you summed that up.
How's everybody doing? And listen, how pumped up are you and how ready are you for the start of the NBA Finals tomorrow night?
Salute, Steph. Happy to be here. Salute to the chat.
Yes, same here. Salute everybody. Salute you, Steph. Shoot, Jerrell, my man Geoff over here. All right, look, I'm ready. We're pumped. You get me?
Yeah. Salute to Trey.
Hey, salute
In the house, JJ in the house. Dwayne Dennis was in here early. We appreciate.
Trey should be on the panel. He up there in the chat, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Welcome. It's the forever link, Trey. Just get on with this here.
Yeah, man. So is that your official? Is that the official question for everybody? The first question, Steph. Like, how pumped are you?
Yeah, you could talk about how pumped you are before we get into it. Give Ajay another minute. So yeah, let's talk about how pumped you are.
Man, I might get a lot of people mad. Like all of the celebratory stuff that we went through last week. Yeah, all that's gone from me now. Like, are you lucky I actually came on this show? I'm tired of talking. Like, I'm about that action right now. I mean, it's wartime. I got my little light hoodie on. You know what I'm saying? All black. I'm ready for war now. Like, I'm not thinking about us, being happy being in the finals. The Spurs won their game 7. Wemby up there jumping up and down, lifting his dad up, crying like it's a foregone conclusion. Like he about to beat the Knicks, man. I think we could take it to him. Like I'm pumped because I'm ready to go. Like I'm tired of talking about this stuff. We've been talking for a long time, me and you, Steph. So I usually have the little tagline. Remember, alumni since 22.
Yep.
Like we've been doing this for 4 years, man, and we finally here at the finish line. We just need to finish. That's all I'm worried about right now.
That's a fact. That is a fact. Geoff?
I'm super excited, but it feels like we've been in the off season. I mean, we've been sitting for so long. I've never had a playoff where you had an 8-day layoff twice. It's so confusing, but that's the benefit of 2 sweeps. But in the same time, it's almost surreal, and it's like now it's like you're in the waiting room for an important doctor's appointment, and you're waiting on some news, and you don't know what's going to be good or bad, but you're just sitting there and waiting for them to come back with the results. That's how I feel.
Yeah. Nick Nation?
Well, I'm crazy, so yeah, I'm out here medicating myself. I'm here building shelves, you know what I mean? Taking stuff down, redoing stuff, anything I can do to keep myself a little busy until this thing goes. Because like he said, these layoffs has been, you know what I mean? It doesn't feel like 8 days. It feels like, to me, like almost 14 or 15 days for some reason. It just feels like so long that, And as everybody knows, remember how crazy I was that I didn't want a long layoff because, listen, I love basketball. I love the Knicks, and I want this team at, you know what I mean? I want them right there ready to go, or, you know, redlining right there. I'm ready to, you know, let's go. So, yeah, I'm pumped. I was about to go out and buy a bigger TV. I got a 75. I was like, I don't know if I could see it well enough. Maybe I should get an 85 or a 90, you know? Can't see it right, you know? And thinking about it, we grew up, you know what I mean? We used to all be gathered in front of like a little box like this, you know?
Right.
Now you got this. And I was like, I can't see.
On WOR, right?
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Right.
VHF, UHF button, you know what I mean? You were tuning, trying to fine tune those things.
Yeah, I haven't even been on X. Like, I don't want to read about it. Salute, Geraldine. Appreciate you. I don't want to read about it. I don't want to hear what everybody said. I don't want to hear stat. I don't want to read nothing. Like, to me, this has been like a little vacation. Like, I haven't been too plugged into the Knicks stuff. I'm just like Jerrell said, ready to play the games. However, salute Tori B. We are a content creating channel. So we have to do the preview. All right. So let's start with what? Well, we already know how the Knicks have been killing, right? The Knicks are, even from a statistic, like to the eye test, they've been killing. But even if you just didn't watch the games and you just delved into the playoff stats for this year, they've been killing. If you compared their shooting efficiency, their, you know, the rate at which they're getting at the rim and finish, like, this is like historic levels. The efficiency at the rim at historic levels, like in the modern NBA. But we're going against another team that, in the places in which the Knicks have been stout offensively, particularly in the paint at the rim, I think the Knicks are the number one team. I don't think I know in the playoffs scoring in the paint. Number one team in terms of the percentage of shots they take at the rim. Number one team in the percentage of shots they take in the paint. And number one in efficiency at the rim, going against a San Antonio team that has been just as historic in rim protection and paint protection, right? So who wins out? Like, so, you know, and we'll talk about that. So the Knicks have advantages. This is what I want to talk about. San Antonio is going to present some challenges. I want to talk about that. But let's start with let me ask the panel. Do you want to start with where the Knicks have the advantage or where San Antonio presents the challenge?
Might as well go with advantage first. Oh, you want to go with challenges first? I kind of figure I didn't want the crowd to get all upset with us first.
Yeah, all right. Let's do advantages. Let's get everybody hyped up, and then we'll bring some levity.
We'll blow up the balloon before we pop it.
I know, right?
Right. The next thing you know, we're gonna be like, down. Y'all Spurs fans or y'all Knicks? You're right. Let's start with where do we think the Knicks have the advantage? Jerrell, and then everybody will pick something different and we can piggyback off of each other. Jerrell, let's start. Where do you think the Knicks, one place in which you think the Knicks have the advantage and a advantage?
An advantage, obviously, for me, like the first thing is experience. Not saying that, the Spurs, young as they are, they almost don't know that they're not supposed to be here yet. So experience, don't get me wrong, it's not like we have a huge advantage with them because they seem like they don't care over there. But it does matter that, Bridges has been to the finals. OG Anunoby has a chip, even though he didn't play in the finals. He still experienced it and know the urgency of it. Jalen Brunson, we already know he's going to be focused. And Cat has been to 3 conference championships series in a row. And he's finally getting to the finals. So, hunger and experience, they kind of blend together for me, especially when it comes to like urgency. So experience for me.
Okay. All right. Anybody want to piggyback off of that?
You mean to discuss what he's saying, or
yeah,
or another thing that we have?
No. Just if you wanted to piggyback off of the experience factor. Jerrell,
Hmm.
I don't think it's gonna be a factor. I don't think it's gonna be a factor.
If
This
that's the case,
team,
we might as well skip to the second question then.
Well,
It ain't gonna be a factor at all. You know what I'm saying?
well, I do have a take on what as far as that.
All right, let
I
me just finish this point.
believe some of his, yes. I believe as far as the experience, because
Well,
it's
one
like
second,
anything else. Okay, go.
one
Okay,
second.
I'm
I
sorry.
just want to finish my point real quick. This team went into OKC in a game 7
Yes, they did.
and did the damn thing. Now they were without
Williams.
Jalen Williams. Don't get me wrong. It's not like they were at 100%.
Mhm.
Still, they did not crumble. They didn't even look like they was business. They was about their business. I'm like when you say experience, I'm thinking that the lights will be bright and they might make a mistake, or I don't know. This series went 7. Like, maybe if they got blown out, I would be like, well, they wasn't tested. Like they blew everybody out. They didn't have any close moments. Well, no, Jerrell. I'm gonna have to think about that one a little more. I'm gonna have to think about that one a little more. So that had Nick.
But no, I mean, I agree with him in that sense, is because it's a difference. They went up also against let's say OKC. OKC was champions, right? But they were really inexperienced champions, if you could really, you know what I mean, put those two together in that sense. Because there's a difference points in when you're playing against guys who are more savvy veterans. So a savvy veteran won't always stand there and say, here, I'm going to give you my chest every time and let you bang into it and either get that foul or what's name. A lot of times a savvy veteran is going to say, yeah, I'm going to show you my chest, show you my arms. I'm going to let you get that bang. And then all of a sudden I may fall or do something or backdoor you, you know what I mean? Or, there's things like that. There's a lot of points of where we will adapt faster. We will see things faster. We will understand certain, defensive assignments. And then with the experience, camaraderie of the team, things like that, there's an educational factor of it. But the experience of that, though, that is a plus for the Knicks, because they can adjust to certain things of how games are called. When you're young, not that these guys are old, but there's a certain, from experience, that where you say, hey, well, I'm not going to just let this guy, take this area this time, or I'm going to get him off this block this time. The way they study film, the way they adjust, the way that they know automatically, when they're on it, let's say getting downhill, where to put their shoulder into a guy, where to step, what's name is, that comes from experience, and it comes from repetition of experience. And I just think that the Knicks overall, from a large perspective of them overall, they have a lot more experience in that. And this is Seattle's first time as what's name too. I mean, excuse me, Seattle Spurs. It's their first time as well, point to the championship. And the Knicks have had guys that have also played in the championship points of it. Our roster across the board have played in these big games.
Who's played in the finals for the Knicks?
Mikal Bridges, I believe. Who else is it? I think Cat has gotten to the finals. Am I correct? And I think what's name? Didn't he get to the finals points? Didn't Dallas get to the finals?
One Western Conference Final, 2 Eastern, but no, this is his first trip to the finals.
Who, as far as Cat?
The only person who played in a finals game might be Bridges.
I thought that Dallas had got there at one point too.
Brunson has played in them? No.
I thought they got there. They just lost, or did they just get to the Western Conference Finals?
No, Dallas got there, but Jalen Brunson was on the Knicks already. Like that was recent.
I thought they got there with him and Luka. I thought that year that Luka was hurt.
They got there with Kyrie and Luka the year after
Yeah, that was Kyrie and Luka.
Yeah. Shout out to Lee. Bridges is the only Knick to play in the finals.
In the finals.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not putting a lot on Bridges being in that. But Bridges has been phenomenal. But like,
what about the coaching aspect stuff?
Is my thing on? Why does it feel so warm?
Mike Brown, listen.
He's a finals coach also.
Listen, if this is I hear what everybody is saying. I don't think it's going to be a big advantage. The fact that Mike Brown has been there and the coach who's been coaching like to get this team, they're like 2-3 years early. This is an imperfect roster. I mean, no roster is perfect, but they played basically shooting guards and small forwards around Wemby.
Mm-hmm.
And to get this team to the finals and to get their mind right to do it, like that, like the Knicks are going to win this series. Don't get me wrong, the Knicks are going to win this series, but I'm not counting on the Knicks experience schematically, the coach experience schematically. I'm not counting on that being a big difference for the Knicks. And listen, if it turns out to be, great. I'm a Knicks fan. But going in, I'm not counting on that being a big factor. But, maybe it is. Jeff, any thoughts on that? And then you can move on to what your point is.
Well, I watched a lot of Spurs games because my wife's a Spurs fan and my boys like the Spurs, and we live in Texas, so I got to see the Spurs.
Traitor.
Hey now. So Mitch Johnson makes a lot of head scratching decisions, in my opinion. I think a lot of times the way that he utilizes his lineup is suboptimal, but Wemby erases a lot of those mistakes, right? And so. And you saw in Game 7, they pretty much played 7 guys until Wemby got in foul trouble, and then Lou Kornet came in and had the big block. But you look at their rotation; it was pretty tight in that 7th game. But he tends to use some strange lineup combinations on the floor. So maybe from that perspective, Mike Brown may have a little bit of advantage on him, having coached in the abilities that go with that. But this team is not deer in the headlights. They're ready to go. They're too young to know that they shouldn't be there. They're too talented to make. I don't think they're going to freeze by any stretch of the imagination. I think it's just going to be a tough battle throughout, and I think they have a little bit of an advantage in that we've been off for a week, and I'm wondering how the rust is going to get us. Versus that, maybe hopefully my hope is that they have a little bit of hangover from their win over the Thunder, but I am concerned about being off for 8 days for a second time. I think in the long run, if the series goes longer, it might be an advantage, but in the short term in Game 1, I think it may cost us Game 1, and sometimes that's enough to swing a series.
Okay, all right. So far, one of the advantages we have is the Knicks experience, Jeff.
I think our biggest advantage is OG Anunoby. I think you said it right. You hit the nail on the head. This is a team that we're playing against outside of Wemby that's a bunch of small forwards and shooting guards, basically. And they don't have anybody, and I'm including Harris Barnes, whose natural position is a 4, but he has no answer for OG Anunoby either. And I think that if we can get the OG Anunoby that we've seen through this playoffs that's really aggressive and does a good job with his cuts and those sorts of things, I think Anunoby is a terror for them to try and guard, because they're probably going to put Champagny on Towns. So because we know Wemby's going to guard Hart, because that's what they did during the regular season. You can imagine that's going to be a similar thing. Well, they don't have anybody else with size, and so regardless of the matchup in those minutes, I think OG has a distinct innate advantage in his size, and especially if he's knocking down the corner 3, I think that's a huge edge for us. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. There's not been anybody who's been tougher at guarding Wembanyama in this season than OG. His numbers have been the best. He's not going to shut him down, but he's going to play physical with him. He's going to make life tough on him. He's going to bump him off of his spots whenever possible. And the more that we can turn Wembanyama into an outside shooter, the better off we're going to be, because he's good from out there, but he's not elite. But if you get him to the foul line and you're getting him inside where he can just plastic man and dunk the ball, that's when you get into trouble.
Yeah. Yeah. Anybody else want to piggyback off of OG and Anunoby being an advantage for the Knicks?
I agree. I completely agree with you.
I agree.
Yeah.
And plus, I don't really think it's just I think him and Bridges, like our wings, period. Like especially in the fourth quarter when they know Brunson is going to be cooking. Yeah, that's when it's our wings time.
Yeah. OG has become so good that I've just been not mentioning him. It's like,
you don't want to jinx it?
No, it's just kind of like this is just OG. This is what OG, brings. But you're right. His ability to stay in front of Wemby. Obviously nobody's going to get overpowered by him. He's going to shoot over everybody anyway. But OG can get physical with him, make it difficult for him to get to a spot. So yeah, I mean, I think you could play Wemby with a small. I mean, he's gonna shoot over the top anyway.
Yep.
He's gonna shoot over the top anyway. Knick Nation, where do you think the Knicks have an advantage other than experience and OG?
I have a list, I think, here, but I'll pick one, and I'm going to say Karl-Anthony Towns. They don't have. Let's put it like this: if you're going to take Wemby, and Wemby's going to guard Hart, who's going to guard Cat? To me, that's a super advantage, and I don't think that they have anybody, period, that can. If Wemby's not on him, which he then that makes them suffer from not having anybody who can do anything at the basket, block any points of your shots, really. So to me, that is a huge advantage, that we literally do have a real, true shooting center that has to be respected from the outside and has to be now respected also for his passing and playmaking ability. I think that's a huge advantage for us. Where as far as the teams that they went through and things that they had to do, you know what I mean? I look at their centers. Let's just take OKC. We had Hart, right? We are honestly. You know what I mean? If he's not 2 feet deep inside the paint, that push shot ain't working. He's not a shooter. And then let's go to what was the other big man? Hogan. How do you say his name? Holmgren, right? Chat. He was trash. He was basically self-checked almost. He was trash that whole series. If you look at his numbers and look at what's name's games, he was a true disappointment. He was not who what's name he was. And I think for the most part, Wemby made him that way as well, because those two have a very competitive spirit going against each other. And Wemby has always had that in his pocket for Chet. Those two have had a lot of words against each other. It's, from what I understand, it starts back from high school, but that's neither here nor there. I just think that our advantage is Karl-Anthony Towns. I think he cries a matchup problem from them across the board. I think Wemby's too small to really truly handle him in certain ways. I think the best person that might even what's name is Luke Cornett.
The question I have for you is, where do you see Cat getting his points? Because remember, they're putting him on Hart. So basically he's roaming. That key is going to be, and we'll get into that in the next segment when we talk about the challenges. That key is locked. So where do you see Cat getting his points from?
Well, if that's the case, then that means that you open driving lanes for him himself. And then you just open for him to just shoot over the top. They have nobody that's even close point as far as in height or that could block his shot in that sense besides Wemby. Any of those other guys, he can either body them, drive right past them, or he can post them up. You know what I mean? Anywhere, just, he doesn't even have to be in the paint, just right outside the block, boom, catch, turn, and drive on them. They have nobody that can what's name with him. They don't. No one on their staff.
So you saying to drive and challenge Wemby, who's going to be in the paint, basically just drive that and just challenge.
Well, if Wemby has to sit that hard in the paint and that what's name is, that means that if anything else, it's still an advantage because that means Cat still has control. Because if you have to pull your big man down that far each time and every time he's what's name there, that means that you just leave everybody else open from the point for a shot. Now, Hart might not be the sharp shooter that we think what's name is, but his 3-point shooting percentages is he in the 40s? So that's not a guy you're just going to leave wide open. And if you do, you're just asking to be murdered. So I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to hedge some of their what's names, but I don't think that I think the Knicks are too savvy now, and they have seen that too much. That has been a repetitive thing, and I think they know where to set it up, how to key it, how to how to come off screens, how to do things. They know, they've seen this over and over and over again. This ain't the first time where Josh has been left open a point. So this is I think teams who took that tactic on. I think we saw the results. Sweeps. I think it's a foolish thing to do. You know what I mean? Because it hasn't shown to slow us down or stop us. If anything else is done, it's just allowed us to sweep people.
I think it had. Well, anyway, I'm going to save my point because that'll piggyback into what I think the Knicks' advantage is. Geoff, Jerrell, you want to piggyback on Cat?
I kind of agree with him that Towns is a potential advantage, but I see where you're coming from too. Is that I think the point being is that they're gonna have those drive opportunities probably not going to be there because Wemby's may not be covering him, but he's going to be the primary help guy. And so, yeah, he can beat him off the dribble, but then you're just going into a one-on-one with him and Wembanyama, and that screams of offensive fouls that Towns is famous for. So maybe the solution is that Towns becomes more of a perimeter guy, and because there's nobody other than him who's got any size, so he should be able to just raise up and shoot that 3-pointer all day long. And so maybe this is a series where he uses this long range accuracy to open up the defense and allow us to do some other things, opening up some driving lanes for Brunson and others. I think that may be the answer is for him, his ability to knock down the outside shot and take it and see what the defense is giving him. And if they collapse on him, even on the perimeter, if they blitz when he gets the ball, just spraying the ball to the right person and getting the wide open 3 that way.
Yeah. I agree with that. Cat is going to have to. He's multi-talented. He's going to have to figure out. I don't think it's like readily apparent, in my opinion, anyway, where the advantage is. I think he's going to have to. I think he's going to have to figure it out. We go into the finals, so Ajay feels like he needs to make an even later appearance to get even more notoriety and what have you. I almost didn't even acknowledge him, but thank you for showing up, my friend.
Thanks for having me, Queen, and salute to you, Geoff, Jerrell, Knick Nation, and salute to the chat.
You leave my diva buddy alone.
We're talking about 3 things. Where do the Knicks have the advantage in this series? Where does San Antonio present a challenge for the Knicks? And what are the keys to winning the series? And right now, we're just doing a round robin as to whether the Knicks have the advantage. Jerrell said experience. Nick Nation.
I was listening.
He was listening. Okay, fine. Anybody want to piggyback off of Nick Nation's? I know Geoff already did. That Cat is an advantage in the series.
Well, I actually agree with both of them. Like, Cat is definitely an advantage, especially since I don't think Wemby is playing him. Like, they're gonna have like Champagne on him, so he's gonna have he's gonna be a plus in his matchup.
Yeah. So this is where I think Cat will have an advantage, and this is where I think the Knicks overall have the advantage. We'll talk about this in challenges. In the challenge section, it remains to be seen whether the Knicks will continue to score in the paint the way they have in the playoffs. It remains to be seen whether or not the Knicks will continue to be number one in fast break points in the playoffs. Both of these teams are really good in limiting the fast break points. But where I think the Knicks really, really have an advantage is offensive rebounds and second chance points. The Knicks are number one in second chance points in this playoff, scoring 17.7 a game. San Antonio is 15th out of 16 teams in the playoffs in limiting second chance points. And like we talked about, they basically play shooting guards and small forwards around Wembanyama. They do bring Harrison Barnes off the bench, Keldon Johnson. I mean, they're not huge guys, but they're physical. Strong guys. But that's where I think the Knicks have the advantage. This is where I think if Mitchell Robinson can play and the Knicks want to go double big, they're going to be able to kill on the offensive boards. The thing about Wemby and ghost coverage, meaning, he'll be playing Josh Hart, but he won't be playing Josh Hart, right? So he'll be like in the middle crowding, and I agree with you, Nick Nation, that Josh Hart shoots 41%, and he has made teams pay. He's made Cleveland pay in this series for basically daring him to shoot, playing ghost coverage. He's made, I'm not sure about the Atlanta series, but I know years ago when we played Philly, Nick Nurse blinked. I think the issues with these teams is that they're blinking. That to me, I feel like they are coming out of their schemes when it comes to Josh Hart too quickly. Yes, Josh Hart has burnt them a few times, but if teams decide we are sticking with this coverage, we are sticking with letting Josh Hart for an entire series, I think they would. I think they would win that bet, but the margins are slim, so they get nervous, and so they come out of it, and that's good for us. That's good for us as a team. But I digress. Wemby is playing in the key, right? But he flies around, and he's really good. He's really good at being in the key, crowding, and closing out at the same time when the ball goes to. I mean, I've never seen anything like it. Really good at that. However, it's a lot to ask. Guard the paint, contest the shot, get back into the paint for the defensive rebound. Now, even for Wemby, that is a lot. And I think
run the offense on the other end, by the way.
Right, exactly. So that's where I think the Knicks will have the advantage. They're short. They're not a tall team, and Wemby is doing a lot, covering a lot on the defensive end. The Knicks should be able to go to the boards. Not just Mitchell Robinson. I think Karl-Anthony Towns is an underrated offensive rebounder. He really puts a lot of effort in on that in that, and as well as Josh Hart. That is where the Knicks have, in my opinion, a clear advantage. Offensive rebounds, second chance points, and I think that's where Karl-Anthony Towns, yes, he'll be able to shoot the three over, they're not tall. I don't think his advantage is driving in this particular series, but definitely shooting. and get into the offensive rebounds when Wemby is out contesting shots. He can average most of his points off of offensive rebounds in this series. They have nobody for him. Anything on that before we move on to anybody else? Did everybody else go? Ajay's got to go last. Did everybody say they point?
Yeah, we good.
All right. Anything on that as an advantage?
You have no choice, Queen. It's you have no choice but me. So I'm probably gonna rehash a little bit of everybody's takes, and I kind of agree with most of your point, guys. I mean, there's a lot of advantages that you could point to, but I think definitely, and Queen, I think you pointed that out, like the experience, so the Knicks,
Jerrell.
I think the urgency, like they understand. I think the Knicks more so than the San Antonio understand that this is almost like a once in a lifetime opportunity. Like the odds are you're not getting back there. Do you know what I'm saying? So with that, they're going to leave it out on the court. And the Knicks obviously are a very talented team. They're one of the two best teams that left, playing in the NBA. So they understand the urgency and the rare opportunity, because they've tried many times to get there and they finally make it. I think they're going to play their hearts out. I mean, case in point, Mitchell Robinson, broken finger. Listen, we're playing. If you had to cut it off to play, do what you got to do, because you're probably not going to get there again in your lifetime. I don't think.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't think San Antonio understands. Like I think they're too young to get it. They didn't fight. They haven't fought hard enough to get to the finals to understand how rare it is to get to the finals. Because you have a couple of rookies on it. Maybe De'Aaron Fox understands that, or Harrison Barnes. But Harrison Barnes don't look like he has the urgency because he already has a ring. But it's I don't think they get it, and I think that gives the Knicks a mental advantage in the series.
Okay.
But in terms of talent, there's a lot to dissect here. We're gonna have to deal with their speed. They're gonna have to deal with our physicality and our experience and our defending.
We haven't gotten to challenges yet, though.
No. Oh, okay. But
right now we're just doing the advantage. We just kind of get everybody, because when you start talking about challenges, Knicks fans, the fan base gets up in the roar. So we just trying to pump everybody up, talk about how the Knicks is gonna do. Then we'll get into the challenges. Make sure everybody is pumped up first.
Yeah, and shout out to Rafa who just posted that Spurs fought hard against OKC. There's a difference between fighting one series and then fighting year after year after year after year. There's a huge difference when you're 20 years old and you're coming off a tough series, or when you're 28 years old and you've been in the league 8-10 years and you understand how you really they really gonna leave out. They're gonna leave it out on the floor. Like if the Knicks lose this series, it's because San Antonio Spurs really played much better and beat the crap out of them. Because the Knicks are not gonna lose this series on their own, because they understand what it takes to get there. And I think that mental urgency, that mental positioning of the Knicks gives them both teams are talented, and both teams have been playing well, and both teams obviously made it to their conference final and won those conference finals, albeit the Knicks a different path, beat everybody, swept everybody, but nevertheless it's just going to be mentally, whoever has that mental edge to push themselves a little bit further, a little bit harder, is probably going to win the series. And I think that's the Knicks.
Yeah,
I agree with AJ. Like we talk about being battle tested all the time. Can't just throw that out now.
Yeah.
Like we talk about being battle tested all the time with this team.
One series is not the same as battling like 10 series over like, you know, a 5-year span or a span of 4 years or whatever it is. It's a huge difference.
The Spurs didn't even make the playoffs last year. The little bit of adversity just because they went to Game 7 against OKC. Like we went through stuff like that already. We went through that already.
Yeah, we've been through a lot of tough series.
Yeah,
I think that's an advantage. That's one advantage I think of playing in New York is that, you know, you play here for a year. This is not like a place where, you know, there's no shy moments. This is the big lights of the city. So New York, the experience of just playing every game is almost a playoff game in New York. You know what I mean? You know how crazy we act. It's October 30th. We screaming like, yo, I can't believe, like, you know what I mean? So the intensity of the moment, I believe that, you know what I mean? That's part of it.
And then, you know, the Spurs are hungry, but in the Spurs, like in the back of their minds, they got like their whole career ahead of them. The Knicks are like starving because their careers are like on the other side of it. You know, the next couple of years, these guys are going to be going downhill. You know, Spurs are coming up. These guys are young, 18, 19, 21, 22. I'm telling you, it's humanly possible to not think, you know, we have like another 10 years to get there. The Knicks window ain't that, you know, it's not a 10-year window. It's a right now window.
We got to get them now because if we don't,
got to get it now.
Ain't nobody going to get them later.
Yeah. So.
No, they will. You know who's going to get them later? Finances. They ain't paying nobody right now. They eventually have to get up off some of those guys.
Listen, all you got to keep is Wemby. I feel like you could put 4 couches around him.
The rest of us could go in there tomorrow with Wemby, and we'll be in the Western Conference Finals.
I don't believe that.
This team that they have right now, how many people do they need to keep off this team? Like
Harper,
Castle.
Yeah, but that's three all-star players right there.
But and it's balanced. That team is very unbalanced. They're very unbalanced.
So like there's gonna be people. You got to pick your core.
Oh, yeah.
This too,
and
then the other players are just gonna have to rotate around.
Yeah. And you know the thing with them is structurally, I think they understand. It's almost like they probably, and one of you guys mentioned that they almost can't believe they're there because that team, you know, outside of Wemby, structurally that team is flawed. It's not built right. You know what I'm saying? And I guarantee you, over the summer, they're gonna find the right pieces. They're gonna find forwards. They don't have forwards. Like it's Wemby, and you know, the average height of that team is probably the same average height as ours because Wemby is like 2 people together. And then so they have a future, a very bright future, and they understand in the back of their mind they're not gonna kill themselves because they know they can get there again.
Yeah. I wow, okay. I hear everybody. I just respectfully. I know I love y'all. I love everybody on this panel. I'm not giving the Knicks. I don't think experience, the mental edge in this particular series. I think if the Knicks win, it's because they're the better team, because they had the right game plan and they executed it and they won. I don't think it's going to be because the San Antonio Spurs, you know, are not going to put out full effort because they know they're going to be back here in the next 12 years, or, you know, they're inexperienced. If the Knicks win, is going to be because of schematics, lineups, execution. I don't think it's going to be because they're more experienced and they have an edge somewhere. This San Antonio team, from what I've watched, mentally tough. It's fair to talk about the competition that they've played. Like, that's fair. Like, that's basketball. That's fair. but how they responded to it.
Queen, they had extra incentives, Queen. They have something in their hearts against OKC, and Wembanyama, he is like, it really got to him that this guy flopping all over the place got the MVP of the league, and like he really took it personal, like really.
Okay,
You don't think he's going to take it personal that they lost the cup to us? You don't think he takes it personal that the Garden crowd chanted "Wemby sucks"? You don't think he all that stuff like that?
Come on, he took that personal, but he's not going to take this personal. Come on, Andrew.
That's what I'm saying.
That cup was last year. That was months ago.
Yeah, I to me,
no, but then no, he really had like, and he Chet Holmgren, he really has it out for him. Like he really cannot stand that guy. And that's from when they were young, when they were competing.
The percentage point? All of this is fine. What's the percentage point you put on if the Knicks win this series? The Wemby not understanding the moment because he's going to be back here 50 times. Wemby not having a lot of venom against the Knicks over Chet as he did against Chet. If the Knicks win this series, how much of it is going to be because of that?
Well, for me, it's not just Wemby. We're not playing against just him. We're playing against the whole Spurs.
Or the whole team. How much you think is going to be because of that?
I think it's a big factor. I'm not saying it'll be like 75% or anything like that. Can't underestimate them and stuff like that. But like, if we can't say our experience is no factor at all, then what was the point of us talking about our experience? Like, I don't see we've been talking about that though. Like how battle tested this team is. How they've been.
I'm not taking anything away from the Knicks. I think the Knicks are battle tested. I think the Knicks are experienced. But then when I look and see how San Antonio has played up to this point and their mentality and how they've answered the bell, that's what makes me think that they've closed the gap in terms of experience. Listen, they don't have experience. That's a fact. So that's not what the Knicks have. You can't close the gap on the actual raw numbers of it.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of what that means and how that's going to play out, I think they've closed the gap in that way, if that makes sense. Like the Knicks have collectively maybe 15 years of experience. Collectively, maybe they got 6. That's a raw number. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But what does that mean in a series that they have 6 and the Knicks have 15? I think what we think it means is smaller than it actually is, just from watching how they've basically grew up in the playoffs. I don't know. Maybe it's me. And listen, y'all know me. I will be right back here at the end of the series and saying, y'all was right. I have no problems coming back and saying you guys were absolutely right, like I did about the defense, right? But right now, the way I'm sitting, I don't think it's a huge. I'm more worried about, listen, the Knicks scoring in the paint and at the rim, fast break points, making sure they shoot over the top. Like, to me, that is the bulk of the Knicks winning this.
Queen, I'm telling you, man, the Knicks are going to be on their game. We're going to see some really good ball from the Knicks. This is
I'm not arguing that at all.
This is it. This is a career moment for them.
Yeah, I think inside, like when you get to a point of the pros, and if it's 2%, 1%, 3%, 4%, that's huge. I just think that any point of an advantage is like anything else. And to me, I kind of equate it to like Muhammad Ali. There were better boxers than Muhammad Ali. There were quite a few boxers that were better than him. But mentally, he could do things to you. And I think the same thing happens in basketball, because there is a game within a game. When these guys are talking to each other and they do certain things and their egos or how certain things are driven, because we all should know it and experience it. We've experienced it multiple times with Brunson. We've seen where their ego things start getting driven. I think that they're at a better place now, and that they're at a place where they just understand whatever that sacrifice point takes to win is to win. And experience comes into play with that. I think in certain moments, where the crowd may be going crazy or do this or do that. And we have one of the best guys in the game at that, Mr. Clutch for a reason. And the clutch fact does also come in. It's mental, because you have to have that point of that confidence, that point of that will to say, you know what, because we look at that first game, we were down so many points. And that to me was experience, will driven, and them guys went at it. And Brunson has the most experience in that, is that said that here, I'm putting you guys on my back. Let's go to town. And I think that experience counts.
Yeah, let's move on, because I think people are misunderstanding me. I understand everything you guys are saying in general about mentality. I just think it's overrated against
Queen,
this
we
particular team.
get you. You basically saying that at the end of the day, they got to go out there and perform. They got to go out there and play the game. That's bottom line you're saying. and
It's hard. They so much more experienced than the Senators. Listen, if we was talking about Cleveland, I would be right here with y'all, because I've watched Cleveland and I've seen them not respond consistently, not answer the bell. I've seen it. I watched this San Antonio team. I'm not seeing them not respond. Just not seeing it. But anyway, before we move on to challenges, I do want to talk about another place where I think the Knicks have an advantage. And well, these guys, they're kind of even. And I was going to say fast break defense. The Knicks are number 1 in fast break points. San Antonio is number 2 in fast break points. The Knicks are number 1 in limiting fast break points. And I think San Antonio is number 2 or 3 in limiting fast break points. The Knicks give up just 9.5 fast break points per game. San Antonio gives up just 10.1 fast break points per game. So both of these teams are really good, at least against who they've played so far, in limiting fast break points and forcing teams to have to play against a half-court defense. Where I think the Knicks have the advantage is the Knicks being number 1 in fast break points is new. Like that's been them in the playoffs. That wasn't them in the regular season. So the Knicks know how to play against a set defense. That's how we've played the entire year. I think San Antonio, though, we limit their fast break points and force them to play possession after possession offensively against a half court. I just don't believe in their offense the way I believe in the Knicks. I just don't believe they have the shooters that the Knicks have. So if you're limiting their fast break points and forcing them to play over the top, to me, that is a better advantage for the Knicks than them doing the same thing against us, right? So they present other challenges to our offense, though, with Wemby being in the middle, and we'll get to that. But making them play over the top, limiting fast break points, to me, that's a huge advantage. That's a huge advantage.
To piggyback off your point, Queen, Dylan and Steph both have a tendency to turn the ball over at times. And if the Knicks can take advantage of that and get them a little bit loose with the pill and then translate that into fast break opportunities, that would be huge. Because that when they lost against the Thunder, it was almost always because a high turnover game from either Castle or Harper or both. Sometimes when they're really good, both of them off the dribble, but sometimes they try and do too much and it kind of get in their own way a little bit. And it's youth. I mean, they're gonna probably just learn their way out of that. But that is, in my opinion, one of their weaknesses of their team, if they have one.
That is a big thing. I agree with Geoff 100%. Because if they have those same type of turnovers, they're getting swept. I think the Knicks take much more advantage of that, and which comes from the point of an experience as well. But we're not gonna go there. Sorry, I'm sure.
No, that's fine. No.
I'm just messing with you, Steph.
I think the Knicks taking advantage of it because they have people who can take the turnover and go the length of the floor and score. And to your point, the Knicks are 3rd in points off turnovers in the playoffs. 20 points off turnovers. number 3 in the playoffs. So you're absolutely right. If they don't take care of the basketball, the Knicks can get it, take it, and convert.
True.
All of them can do it. It's not like you have to get it and wait for the ball handler to come and get the ball to you and push it down. Bridges gets it, he can go. If OG gets it, he can go. Hart can do the same. Brunts. The only person basically who would have to get it and give it to someone probably would be Karl Anthony Towns. And ever so often he try to, push it down the court.
He can throw that touchdown pass, though. He may not be able to take it for the.
Yep.
He's really good at throwing that 3/4 length pass. He's
Facts.
very good at that. Underrated, in fact, in my opinion. So even with Towns, if he'll have his head on a swivel, and if he sees Hart or Bridges or OG ahead, he's going to hit him. Probably the best quarterback in New York. With my apologies to Jackson Dart.
Right. Before we get to the chat, I just have one question, and I think it was Geoff who mentioned their bench. Is the bench an advantage for the Knicks or the Spurs?
Neither. I think it's pretty much a wash. And the reason I say neither is because I think the Spurs have a lot of good players coming off their bench. I think that, Dylan Harper comes off the bench, first of all, and he's a starter quality player. I mean, and I know I'm biased, Rutgers fan. Like I get it. I have to put my scarlet colored glasses aside. But this kid is really good. He's a much better defender than I ever thought he would be at the professional level. He has a really good ability to stay in the air on his jump. And so when the defender goes up to block his shot, by the time they're coming down, he's still making his move toward the rim, which gives him a facility of finishing with the basketball. And if he's shooting the ball at a decent clip and his 3-point numbers have been pretty good, he's a pretty nice player off the bench. And Keldon Johnson is undersized, but he's a really rough and tumble, tough, kind of a ball player. He'll make the tough rebound in traffic, and he has his moments as a 3-point shooter too, although he's kind of more streaky than some of their other guys. Luke Cornett, we all know what he can do. I mean, you can argue that he made the play of the series when he blocked Hartenstein in the fourth quarter of Game 7. They may not even be standing here if it wasn't for that. And then you've got a grizzled veteran like Harrison Barnes, who's not the player that he was by any stretch of the imagination. But against a team like the Knicks, he may be valuable because he's got length. He's got ability to stretch the floor. Also, he shoots it at a decent clip and is not afraid to take those shots. So if you put him on the floor with Wemby, they can play more of a 5-out, which is good for Castle, Harper, and Fox. So that gives them quite a bit of flexibility as well. I think that's about it. I'm not sure that there's a whole lot else there, but those 4, I think they go 9 deep, solid. And I don't think unless there's an injury, I don't think you really need to go further than that. And, we've been pretty fortunate. Landry Shamet shot 2,000% from 3 in the first 3 rounds. I don't know if we're going to get that kind of performance. I do kind of think, this is weird coming from me, but I think in one of these games, we're going to get a Jordan Clarkson game where he just kind of goes off. And we haven't seen that yet this playoffs, but this is a guy who's averaged over 15 a game when he was with the Jazz in the playoffs. So we know this is a guy who's not shy at the moment. And if he gets his opportunities to go inside and make some moves with Wemby off the floor, maybe something like that, I could see him having a 9, 10, 12-point quarter that kind of lifts the Knicks to a win. I just think both benches are really good, and I think that there's a lot of depth. So if you have to ask me, I would say it's more of a wash. And I'm sorry I kind of took up a lot of time on that.
No, I think that's good though, because I think it gave us some insight into the particular players, on their team. So yeah, I think that was good, because we probably have some listeners who didn't who's still celebrating and didn't watch not one San Antonio game. So thank you. Thank you for breaking that down. Anybody else?
I'm a homer, so I'm going with our bench because I'm a homer. And I just think that our bench is better on ball defensively. From Mitch to being, you know what I mean, to guarding on ball. Because I don't think I could ask Luke Cornett to do any of those things that what Mitch does in that sense on a defensive end like that. You know, I think Deuce is a great on what's name. I think Shambick, you know, Clarkson has come along and what's name is Alvarado when he sneaks his minutes in here. You know, I think that their bench is in for a rude awakening of being stifled. I think that these guys will be on them like white on rice. So I've watched their bench. I've watched what's in it, and they do. There's some very, you know, solid guys, shooters coming in. But I think they're just going to see a whole nother level of guys coming off and how they present the defense on them. And I don't think that these guys that we have are looking to budge too much. I think the OKC dudes gave them a little bit of room and weren't as strong. I think that we just have more grown man strength guys across the board. And I think that it will come, you know what I mean, to that level where we see it.
Anybody else?
I mean, I don't see a clear advantage really between them and us. And I think, you know, they I don't know. There's one thing I noticed about their bench though. You notice they have Wemby, who's like, you know, 10 foot tall, but they still have a lot of big guys on their bench, man. They have like 4 centers on there. Did you realize that?
That play? I've only seen Cornette.
I mean, I don't know if they play, but they're available.
Well, their third unit has Biyombo and Olynyk and somebody else on. So he's right. They do. Those guys don't really usually play unless it's garbage time.
Right.
Olynyk
but don't forget, if Cat's starting to give him trouble, they have like 18 fouls they could throw at him to frustrate him. I don't know what strategy they're going to use with Cat. I think it'd be a mistake for them to put Champagne on him, but that's
who else they're going to put on him.
I don't know. I think because not only because you need Champagne to focus on offense. You know, if you have him tied up on the defensive end with Cat, man, that's a clear New York Knicks advantage.
Well, let's not act like Cat. Cat is standing at the top of the key. I don't think it's like Brunson, like you guarding Brunson and then now you got to go back and shoot. Like
the past few games, he's mixed it up a lot, Queen. The past few games, he's at the top of the key. He's moving around. He's driving, low post. He's done a rebound, put back. He's in the playoffs. He's mixed it up.
If they put Wemby on Cat, first of all, they don't have anybody else to put other than probably Shan or somebody small like him. And if they decide they're going to put Wemby on Cat, they've just lost the series before it even started.
I agree with that, but they're not going to do it.
Your only rim protector out on the perimeter against Karl Anthony Towns, you've basically conceded the series. The Knicks are going to be cutting back door, wide open lane, and all you have is small players back there trying to keep them from laying the ball up. Like that's yeah. Unless they bring out Olynyk off the bench or crickety knees, somebody off the bench. I don't really see what else they're gonna do. Anything else on the bench before I get to the chat and then we move on to challenges? All right, let's get to the chat real quick. Trey Frazier, appreciate you. 27, I can't sleep, y'all. Oh, yeah. JJ, I want this more than anything I've ever wanted. Yeah. Wow. Okay, how long you been a Knicks fan, JJ? Shout out to Tori, appreciate you. Dwayne Dennis, mind over matter, continue focus plus a superior mentality. Knicks in 4, 5 the most. Okay. All right. 3-point shooting is our advantage. They don't have many knockdown shooters like we do, but not just that. If the Knicks can't get what they want in the paint and the Knicks can't get what they want in terms of fast break points, because San Antonio is stout in both of those areas that the Knicks are stout in offensively, then the Knicks better be knocking down 3-point shots. If you're not gonna, if they're taking away our mid range, and we'll get into this more when we talk about challenges, you have to be knocking down your shots. Like, this is not the series to go cold. This is not the series to go cold. I'm telling you. All right. Okay. All right. Okay, we talked about that. Dale Sinclair, if Cat can stay away from those boneheaded fouls, that's a plus for us. Okay. J Tap, New York Mob, Coach Brown has 4 rings. Even if they were from being an assistant, that's still a huge advantage. Okay. My Holy King, Knicks had too much time off. It'll hurt them in game 1. That is a concern. That is a concern. All right. Salute to Lee Escobedo. Nick of Time. Appreciate you. As always. Pumping out those articles like one every other day. I appreciate you. I really do.
Yeah, I read one today. It was really nice.
Yeah. Is this the personal one where he's talking about himself? He just pinned one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because it somehow it was pinned, and then somebody commented, maybe I'm following them from Knicks Film School, and so I saw Knicks Film School, and then when I went to the article, I clicked the article. It was the article about it was Lee about his father and things like that.
Yeah, I didn't get it. He sent
why
it to
people
me.
want to
He
watch.
sent the link.
Oh,
Sorry,
yeah,
go
I read
ahead.
it today. Yeah, I read it today. It was good. It was well done, well written.
All right. Let me see if I can get this link in the chat. Let's see. All right, here we go. Listen, shout out to Apple, man. You cut on your iPhone and paste it on the computer. That's what I'm talking about. Stay with Windows too long. All right. All right. So I just
yeah,
hit.
people
There
have
goes that
issues, man.
sponsorship opportunity.
Yeah.
I just put the link to the Lee Escobedo Nick of Time article in the chat. Be sure to check them out. This is a very personal one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, be sure to check that out. All right. A Train, Wemby is a competitor. He wants to win. Did you see how serious he was when he lost that All-Star weekend? Okay. All right. Warren Franklin, Knicks have better bench. We have the best bench in the league. Deuce, Shamit, Mitch, Clarkson, John Stockton, 5.0. Who's that? John Stockton, 5. Is that
Tyler Kolek.
all right? Okay, we pumped up. We are pumped up. Okay.
Didn't even mention Alvarado, by the way.
Grotto, right? Yeah, he subbed him
He's
out.
ahead of Kolek in the second one.
I'm saying, yeah, he subbed him out. So, oh.
Right. A Train, it's been 50 plus years. I ain't underestimating nobody, including the ball boys.
Amen.
Keep an eye on them ball boys too.
JJ Keldon Johnson's a bully down low. And he's undersized too. What, like 6'7"?
6'5", I think.
6'5",
Really?
I think he is.
Yeah, he's not very tall, but he plays.
He's strong.
He's like Josh Hart. He's like their version of Josh Hart, in my opinion. He's not as good as Hart, but he's pretty good.
Jake, we the best opponent the Spurs have seen. Okay.
And vice versa, JJ.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not underestimating Spurs, a generational talent, plus youthful hunger, plus knocking off the reigning champs, make them a dangerous team. Don't let Freezy hear you say that. Freezy texted me, said the Knicks are winning in 3. Okay. And he was serious too. Shout out to the art formerly known as Steve. I appreciate you. Hey, y'all.
Shout out to Steve.
I checked out his drawings too. Yeah, that guy's good.
So did I. Hey, y'all, everyone. The Knicks. Hey, y'all, everyone the Knicks played so far prepared them for the Spurs. I'm only focused on game one. We win game one, it will be pandemic, like panic for the Spurs. Just have to weather the first onslaught in the first quarter. Yeah, I don't see how San Antonio Spurs can. Let's get into it now. I think we've. All right. What are the challenges the San Antonio Spurs present to the Knicks? And if you know it, if not, you could just throw it back as a question yourself. How do you think the Knicks deal with that challenge? Ajay, we'll start with you.
I mean, the first couple of things that pop is
Just one, leave some meat on the bone. One challenge.
Can I sneak in two?
But then you're gonna take something from somebody.
If you maybe if you wasn't late,
let Hollywood have his too, or we're gonna be here all night.
We love you too, the Flying Grayson. Thank you for rocking with us, man.
I think aside from Victor Wembanyama being a problem for everybody, including the engineers who built the place because they didn't realize the doors were too short. Their speed and their 3-point shooting.
Their 3-point shooting?
Yes. Queen, listen, don't go by the stats. Go by the eye test.
Okay.
Go by the eye test.
It's usually the other way around, but okay.
No. Don't go by. Watch the games, and a lot of these guys are in the moment. They shoot well for some reason, and I remember when we were watching that last game. I was like, "What's going on with De'Aaron Fox? Like he's the sure hand, right? But he's not taking the shots. But then the other kids are taking the shots and they hitting them." So I don't know, whatever their strategy was to get everybody involved, whatever happened over there, but it was working. So, but their speed, they play fast, I think that's going to be a problem. So we really need to be conscious about this because they play fast, even on made baskets, they fly. One good thing though with that is when Wembanyama falls, like obviously it's going to be a 5-on-4 because he falls slow and he gets up slow for us. So
he has to scaffold down.
Yeah, he's like a transformer. He falls in sections like and he gets up the same way. So you have a few seconds, on a 5-on-4. So if we move fast, we could probably take advantage of that. But they do play fast.
Yeah. Anybody else comment on their speed as a challenge for the Knicks?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, it goes into my point a bit, but no, go ahead, Jerrell.
I was going to say that they obviously, have use on their side and they're more athletic. So yeah, they should be faster than us. I still don't know. Like when it comes to the challenges that we have, like it's not my turn yet, but I don't have that many for us.
Okay, all right now.
I might want to go last when it comes to that.
Okay.
I'll just piggyback on other people's challenges.
What if there's anything left, right?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I'll piggyback off the speed. I think the speed is some point of an advantage for them in a sense because it allows them to pick us up from the point of 90 feet. And that is something that can stifle us, is particularly if we don't scheme properly to get into it and get that ball past half before 16 seconds. And if they're putting us to that limit, that puts our offense in a lot slower of a motion, which definitely puts them in an advantage. Because if I was their coach, by all rights, I'm coming at everybody who's bringing up that ball, and I'm looking to try to wear them down from the jump street of the game. I'm not trying to let anybody get into a rhythm and get comfortable. That would be my opening point and defensive accrement to everybody on that team, is that you have to jump on these guys early, fast, and hard and stifle their game and slow them down. Because, we've had, like you say, we've had the rest. We've been off for multiple days. And before we can actually, get running and get up to speed, that if I'm that coach, I'm taking advantage of that. I'm doing everything in my powers to slow us down by bringing in bodies quickly, I'm telling you guys to be upfront, physical, and you're locking down everybody. If they got 3 guys that come up front to catch that ball inside, I want 3 to 4 guys up there with them. I'm not trying to, I myself wouldn't try to let the Knicks get into a flow of an offense, because once they do, it's a hell of a storm to stop. So that would be the point, how I would, just tagging on to what AJ said.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I do think they're going to pressure, pressure the ball handlers, and that can't be Bridges. So it'll have to be Brunson and Hart. Like I don't think, I'm not very confident in Bridges' handle against pressure, and maybe he'll surprise me in this series. Like I said earlier, the Knicks have been pretty good in terms of limiting fast break points. You cannot let this team get out on the break. You cannot let this team, like they're not a, contrary to what Ajay is saying, I don't believe they're a good 3-point shooting team. I think they like to, not that they can't hit threes. That's not what I'm saying. I don't think that's their bread and butter. I think they want to get downhill. I think they want to score in the fast break before your defense is set. Everybody would love to do that, but they have the athletes to do it. So the Knicks cannot turn the ball over, giving up fast break points. They have to take care of the ball. You just have to limit there. If the Knicks are serious about winning this series, right? This is how we knew that the Knicks was going to have a hard time against Indiana. They practiced for, I don't know how many practices they had before that series started. Indiana is a fast break team. You cannot give up fast break points. The first possession, that's what it seemed like. The first possession of the game, the Knicks gave up a fast break point. Throughout the series, they kept getting fast break points. And you're like, that's their bread and butter. If you can't stop their bread and butter, it's going to be hard for you to win the series. And that's the same thing with the San Antonio Spurs. And not just in terms of fast break points, but even in half court, they want to go downhill. If you turn them into a 3-point shooting team, I'm not saying they can't hit shots. I just think your chances are better. So I agree. I think the speed of this team is a challenge for the Knicks, could be a challenge for the Knicks. But I think if they're focused, it's not like these are slow, players that can't stop them. They can, but you have to be focused and you have to be in the right place, and you cannot turn the ball over. Geoff, anything you want to add to the speed of San Antonio?
No, I think you guys pretty much covered it. I don't think there's anything else that needs to be said on that.
All right. Knick Nation, any challenge you see?
Where are you talking about as far as challenges for San Antonio? Or
that they present for the Knicks?
Ooh. To me, the one I discussed, that was it. I think that they're, you know what I mean? So,
Okay.
Just a speed point.
Geoff?
My concern is they've got a lot of guys who are really good one-on-one ball defenders. Harper excels at that. Steph Castle is a pest. They got this kid Carter, who I didn't mention when we were talking about the bench because he doesn't play a ton. He's a rookie out of Arizona, I believe. Jerrell may know a little bit more about him than I do. This kid can guard. I mean, they had him on SGA a few possessions in the last series, and nobody stops SGA, but he was as good as you can ask for. So, having that, they have kind of that demon attack wave of defenders with length and can make Jalen Brunson's life tough on him if he's going to try and initiate the offense with a lot of one-on-one stuff. That in other words, when you have James Harden against you, the Cavs don't have anybody like that. When you got Tyrese Maxey out there, they don't have anybody. Well, I don't think that the Spurs really have that weakness, and I'm not sure that you can attack De'Aaron Fox in the same way that you can some of those other weaker defenders from the previous series that we've had. And so that's kind of a concern for me. And I think as far as the counter to that, I think is going to be trying to get Brunson off ball more and utilize him more as a spot up shooter with his 3-pointing ability, and get him a lot more catches. Stuff where all he has to do is catch and shoot, or catch and make one quick move and be done with it, as opposed to, half court set grinding, him trying to dribble it out fourth quarter hero style, And it's funny and ironic that De'Aaron Fox is kind of the opposite point of that. He's a terrific clutch fourth quarter guy himself, even back to his Sacramento days. Not as quite the 3-point shooter that Brunson is, but very much the ability to get in the paint and make tough shots come crunch time. So I think that's really where I see the problems potentially.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Salute, Art Man. How you doing?
Yo, what's good, y'all? How y'all feel? How y'all feel?
Smooth.
Good.
Money man in the house.
Who, me? Nah, I ain't got no money, man. Oh, man, I ain't got no money, man.
You support this show by yourself, bro. We don't know what you're talking about.
Bro, whatever I can do, I'm going to do, yeah? I'm on my way to pick up my wife from work. I said, oh, I got to call in, man. Tomorrow's game one. Oh, my God. When I say I've been anxious, I've been OD anxious. I'm like, yo, bro, when is the game? It's like Wednesday. I said, bro, it's last Thursday. What's going on? We still got like 5 days to go. Bruh. Yo, when I tell you guys, I'm beyond hype. But what I'm not gonna do, I'm not gonna get ahead of myself, because that's what we usually do as Knicks fans, get ahead of ourselves, and then we lose game one and then we go crazy. So what I'm gonna do is, like I said, we're gonna take this quarter by quarter, timeout by timeout, second by second. You know what I mean? P break by P break. Like whatever the situation is, I'm not gonna get too hyped. But in regards to this Spurs thing, I think as much as we got to be careful not to turn the ball over, I think the Spurs are gonna turn the ball over a lot. Like it's gonna be a lot, because the way that the Knicks are playing, we're playing like a pack of wolves. And the minute we can see a little bit of blood, we go after it. And the way Mikal is playing, OG is playing, as good as Castle, Vassell, Champagne are, I don't think in regards to like experience-wise, no matter what they say, oh no, experience doesn't mean anything. Yes, it does. If you've never been somewhere, there's no way you could tell me how it feels to be there. Those guys, OG's been there. Unfortunately, he didn't play in the finals officially, but he was there. He was on the bench. Mikal was there. Do you understand what I'm saying, Shoot? As crazy as Brunson's never been there, he had Jason Kidd as his coach. That was there. Do you understand what I'm saying? Mike Brown was there. So all these people that Mitch Johnson, as much as Mitch Johnson has never been there. Pop was there. Do you understand what I'm saying, Shoot? So it's astronomical. Look at it. I hope my wife doesn't see me. I'm like, oh my God, you're talking on this show stuff again? Oh my God. But guys, like I said, I just wanted to drop by to say thank you for always like reading the chats and all that. Like I said, I appreciate y'all. Like I said, game one is tomorrow. Queen. Like I said, I'm gonna continue supporting you, because like I said, you got the vibe about you that I really like. And like I said, Jerrell, you top 5 dead or alive, man. No matter what you say. You know what I mean?
Appreciate
you know what I mean? Aj, you're not the villain, man. Like I said, once we win this championship, you're gonna be the superhero.
Hey, man.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Jeff, top 5. You know what I mean? And you're not 5. You know what I mean? Nick Nation, you already know, bro. You know what I mean? I don't got nothing to say. I gotta hurry up and get out of here for my wife will get into the car.
Thanks, man. Thank you, man.
Guys,
have a good one.
It's nothing but love, guys. All right?
Right.
The hat is crisp too. I like it.
Yeah. Oh, yo, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me.
That's what's up.
Appreciate you always.
Word.
That was cool. I'm surprised. Shout out to the Man Cave podcast. What's good, man?
That's good.
I don't believe nobody has said San Antonio's rim protection.
Well, that was the one thing that I was going to say.
All right.
Just because they got an alien over there. But we shoot aliens all the time in the video games and stuff. I don't care. Like, I still think we can beat them, Steph. Don't get me wrong. They do.
I think so too.
They do present challenges, but Yeah, other than the rim protection, because they got somebody that's 8 feet tall over there that's athletic and can do stuff like that. Yeah, he's a freak of nature. Other than that, I'm not scared of them at all.
But do you not think though that limits what the Knicks have been doing well in the playoffs? I mean, the Knicks have been, like, in the regular season, we've scored points in the paint, but we've taken a good percentage of our shots from three, right? In the playoffs, it's like we're number one points in the paint. We're number one shooting at the rim. We're number one in efficiency at the rim, like all-time high. The Knicks are shooting 68% at the rim.
Mm.
And they're shooting 62% or around 62% in the paint. They're scoring 53.3 points in the paint. Like, the Knicks are feasting at the rim in the paint, and they're going up against a team that is just as elite on the other side. So it's like, who's gonna blink? Something is gonna have to give. And then they're also a team that doesn't give up a lot of fast break points. So if they get on one of those games where the Knicks aren't getting what they want in the paint and the Knicks aren't getting fast break points, the Knicks their 3-point shooting has to be on that particular game. And before I hand it over to you, Jerrell, to Geoff's point, Brunson and Mikal, that's their spots in the key. And I just don't think that's going to be there consistently. Now, obviously, when Wemby goes to the bench, points in the paint increases, I think, by 10 when he's on the bench. But Mikal and Brunson, I don't know how much they're going to be able to feast in the paint. But what Brunson has is that 3-point shot. Like, that is what he has, that he can come down and pull up for three. Off the pick and roll, if they go under, he can pull for three. He can relocate. He can pass the ball, relocate, and because we're a good passing team, we pass it. He could shoot it off the catch. You know what I mean? So I do think, even though they're going to take that away, Brunson at least can score, to Geoff's point, off the ball. But that is a big challenge.
Another solution to that, Queen.
Sure.
And one of the reasons why I'm not necessarily overly concerned about it, maybe I will be once the games start, but I also remember back to when Mitchell Robinson started for us and what a rim deterrent, rim protector he was. But that has an effect, right? That makes you more vulnerable to the offensive rebound, right? Because you can't contest and box out at the same time. It's physically not possible. So, and if the stats you read earlier, right, they're not the strongest rebounding team anyway. And so maybe our percentage goes down as far as, just sheer raw points in the paint. But if we're able to balance that by getting second, third, fourth opportunities at the rim, because we've got Wemby trying to block this guy's shot, then Mitch or Cat or Josh Hart comes in, gets the rebound, sprays it out for a three, or puts it back up and in, whatever the case may be. I think that could be not necessarily that it guaranteed, but I think that's a potential counterweight to that weakness.
Yeah. The other thing also, Geoff, is that teams tend to go into the paint less just because he's there. Now, I don't know if that's going to be the Knicks. The Knicks may make a point to go in there anyway, but teams have been going, and his presence itself has been a deterrent for people going in. But Jerrell, you wanted to say something?
I was going to say a big part of my confidence is contingent on us out shooting them, though. Like, I think we're just a superior shooting team compared to them.
Right.
And I don't think we should be the type of team that should be scared of going in the paint just because he blocks shots. Just dunk on him then.
Right.
If that's the case, not saying that we'll be successful all the time, but we can't play scared. Like, we can't be Chet. All of us can't be Chet. Like
none of us are Chet. Let's just get that out of the way.
Right. Like Chet goes up against him, he not even playing like himself. Like, we can't play like that. And I don't expect us to be scared of him.
Yeah.
I think schematically that works for us. It makes us better. because if he's sitting in the paint and if I'm coming into the paint, then that just draws him. If I can draw him close in, and then as the Mike Brown's famous words, spray. And I think that just allows us to open. And I think that just creates more passing lanes, more open shots. So to me, I think if they play them like that, that's a disadvantage for them in ways. It may seem like it's an advantage, but to me, it's a disadvantage because number one is two is that we're a different team than what OKC is. And as far as Brunson, if you compare him to SGA, they're different. And I hate to say it, but to me, not that I'm being a homer, but in ways, Brunson is a lot harder to guard because his footwork is just so impeccable. His ability to come off that body, to turn, to dig in, take them 2 steps, you know what I mean, to get to that basket, the way he positions and angles and puts shots, it's very difficult to get to him. And then once two is because he's left-handed. One is that's a thing. It's like you don't play against so many left-handers. You play against so many predominantly right-handers. The league is probably what, 80 to 20 or something crazy like that. So it's a thing that's just as harder. Like it takes a moment to adapt and come over to a left-hander to be able to even get his shot to me. And then I'm going to counter that too is by also, even though I gave him a C to a C minus during the season, I've given them, and I'm going to say them, a A, the 3-headed monster. That 3-headed monster, which I will call our offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and Mr. Brown himself. And I believe that the 3 of those guys, when their heads are together, the way that they, scheme and counter scheme, I think that they have been A+ through this, and I think they'll get us through it.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. It's funny them playing. So what makes the Knicks dangerous is the Knicks can play so many different ways, and that's what makes them a good team. Like I said earlier, this heavy points in the paint and scoring at the rim, this is a new Knicks team. Like that wasn't the Knicks in the regular season. The Knicks spraying, getting in, drawing, and spraying is the Knicks, right? And so I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get in and spray or they're going to be just passing it quickly around the perimeter. However they do it, that's kind of how we've played anyway. So it's not going to be new. It's not going to be like, oh, we can't get into the paint. We don't know, we don't know what to do. I will say this though. Part of spraying is gaining an advantage. It's drawing. And so if Wemby is sitting in that key and if you can't draw 2 to the ball, you can't get them in rotation. There's a difference between taking wide open shots because 2 to the ball and you rotated fast and you found the open guy and you can't get the team in rotation. And now those shots are a little more contested. If that happens, I think that's probably the only chance they have is that they're not in rotation. They're taking away the key. The Knicks can't, they're not getting in rotation. And the 3-point shots we are getting are contested shots. If I'm them, that's the game plan, right? So that could be a challenge for the Knicks. Lock up fast break points, lock up points in the paint. If you're going to beat us, you're going to beat us from 3, and we're not going to be in rotation. You're just going to have to hit contested shots. That's probably their best chance of, winning a game in this series. No, that's probably their best chance of winning the series. But I think everything would have to align for that to happen. I don't know. I just think the Knicks will figure it out. But that is a challenge. That is a challenge. Their rim defense is elite. Their paint defense is elite, historically elite. And that's going to be a challenge. That's going to be
one guy. It's not like it's schematic or anything. It's just he's the greatest defensive player of our generation. I mean, he's 7'4", and he can probably even block McHale's fadeaway. I mean, his arms are just so crazy long. I mean, that's just such an innate advantage that But again, if he's off, sometimes you can just attack a player in his chest and pick up a couple of quick fouls. And then if he's got to go to the bench, if he's not on the floor, I don't think they're scary at all as far as protecting the rim. So it's really just a one-man show and scheming around Wemby, which is no easy task. But I mean, that's what it boils down to.
Yeah, but don't forget though, him being back there allows them to do things that they can't do.
100%.
Yeah, so
everybody's more aggressive. They could play up on the ball. They don't have to worry about getting blown by because they've got that. They've got that
exactly
human eraser back there.
Yeah, he's a human eraser. They could. Yeah, you said it. I can't say it any better than that, Jeff. So yeah, I talked about their transition defense. I'm not sure how many fast break points the Knicks are going to get, but again, I'm very confident in Knicks in the half court. Defending Wemby himself, defending him. Do you think that's going to be much of a challenge for the Knicks?
It's not going to be easy, but I would let him cook. Like if it was me, I would shut down everybody else. And look, if he's having to be Mr. Everything on defense, and then you're asking him to score 50 points on the other side, he's probably the best player in the game right now, but I'll live with it. And the more that you can make him a perimeter shooter and make him settle for long 3-point jumpers, the better. And we've seen tendencies and if you notice the playoff games they lost to the Spurs, he had like 4 shots in the first half. And he wouldn't be going inside. He wouldn't be getting in the paint for those touches that, like, if he catches the ball, I mean, it's just one step at a dunk. And they're the worst lob throwing team in the history of the universe. And he still catches it and dunks it. It's incredible how soft his hands are, how big his touches. So if you can, if OG and Cat and whoever else, Mitch, whoever else is charged with it, if they can keep him out of the paint as much as possible, force him into being a perimeter threat. If he knocks him down from out there, and he will some because he's a 35% shooter from out there, which is pretty good, enough to keep a defense honest, to say the least. And he's got range out to half court. I mean, he's not scared to pull the logo every once in a while either. But to me, I think if the more that attention we shade his way and try and double and all of those things, I think that plays into his hands. I think you live with what he does and you try and eliminate everyone else. And I think that gives us the best chance to win.
Okay. Anybody else? Ajay, you were saying something different. You wouldn't let the other guys beat you?
No, I would. I was agreeing with Jeff because I'm like, I probably wouldn't. I'm not trying to double team Wemby. I'm not doing none of that. Like if he's beating you off the dribble and he can, listen, I would live with him just going off of 50 and everybody else scoring in single digits. Like if that's what it takes, then because I'm not spending a lot of resources on try to defend him. Like he's going to get what he's going to get, And Queen, there's something we're not mentioning. Do you think that's a factor? You got to remember these kids. Yeah, they're young, they're athletics, but they never played that many games in their lives. And a lot of times we look at NBA Finals. The team that wins it is the team that can outlast the other one.
Great point, Ajay.
I mean, I think I just we have some advantages, man. And our guys know that too. These guys, they don't know that, those kids. They think they can go on forever. That's just not how it works. And especially their coach, he's a very short rotation, man. The last series, he didn't play a lot of guys. So I think, and we'll be able to tell real quick too. By game 2, we'll be able to tell if these guys are tired, if they've had it, if they're already thinking about their vacation or where they're going, because they we'll be able to tell.
Yo, we in the finals.
They're gonna give us everything.
Yo, listen, man, we'll be able to tell. Last when we played Cleveland, by game 2, Harden was already trying to figure out where he going.
About a 30-10-year-old guy versus versus
Yeah.
a 20, average.
20-year-old.
Yeah,
He's not smart enough to even know when to quit. They're gonna
remember
give
we
us
used to stay
everything
out
they
to
got.
6 o'clock in the morning and still go to work.
Mhm.
That is a problem with him too.
Now I need a nap to get to the door. It's a problem.
Oh man, Jerrell, is defending Wemby a challenge or not really?
Yeah, of course it's a challenge. I mean, very talented dude, man. I don't want him to get 50 though. I don't know about that. But yeah, I would definitely not double him. And I agree with everything that Geoff said. Like, we should just not let him, but go one-on-one, hopefully nobody else is hot from the outside. And like I already said that I think that we're going to outshoot them because I don't think they have the shooters that we do. But yeah, I don't expect him to have like 50 and 20 games on us like he did in the last series against OKC. Yeah, he's going to definitely score points, but I don't think he's going to average 40 points on us just because it's the finals. No.
Yeah. Anybody else? Man cave. Mitch and OG can play Wemby from the perimeter to the paint. They are physical. Like, I think if Mitch is switching on to Wemby, I like him in that matchup. But just putting Mitch out there on Wemby as the primary
Yeah, I don't like that.
defender, I don't know if I like that.
Who else you can guard though?
I don't know, but I wouldn't want him just like we wouldn't want him guarding Cat. It's the same reasons. Like if Mitch is, unless it's a double big lineup, who's back there to guard the paint for us?
But do you think that he has the lateral speed to stay in front if he's the primary defender on him?
I mean, yeah, sometimes, not all the time. How many minutes is Mitch going to play anyway? Like, I don't see him being one-on-one on Wemby that often in this series, especially if he's playing on the perimeter. I wouldn't want it.
Probably not even going to see there's a lot of minutes because he's our bench big, so he probably is going to play when Wemby sits most of the time. I would imagine that Towns or Anunoby is going to get the assignment probably 80+% of the time, don't you? Or am I misimagining that?
Right. And when Mitch comes in, when Wemby's on the bench, that's when we definitely need to, those are the minutes that we definitely need to win.
I don't see Wemby driving that much though on us. I don't really see that much because he's got to put the ball down.
He does, but that's his game. He does that. Like, I don't think it matters who he's playing, but he just will do it. I mean, it's we have to be in the moment to understand, like, to throw, to try to poke the ball away and do all that stuff when he does that. But I don't think he can help himself, Knick Nation. That's just.
I just think that I know that that's the point of his game, and it's similar to how he sets up at that top key, and then he drives from there. That's not where you really want to come at the Knicks from. Where you want to come at the Knicks from, and if you are going to drive, if he comes from the baseline, he's got a chance. If he comes from the top of that key, more likely he's going to have a lot of turnovers because these guys are waiting there. They're waiting to dig in and take the ball from you. They sit there and they do that.
Paint to Knick Nation's point.
That is what we do. That's the principle. That's the ground principle about defense. Is if you notice and you watch the games, go back, you'll see a lot of times it's three guys that are hovering right there because that's what they do. They surround that point and they say, "Hey, go to the baseline," and then we know where to go help you at. But they don't really. What's the name? And the only ones who kind of hurt us, even when we did that, was Cade, because Cade was still strong enough to displace people and penetrate through that middle. Where Wemby, he doesn't have that. He just has a point of finesse where he's going to try to finesse and get his way in. And guys will be sitting there. They'll be waiting on him. Mark my words. You'll see it. He'll try it.
Yeah. I don't really see Wemby being a problem offensively. I'm not saying he won't score. He will. But we can't we just can't have him scoring and these other guys getting downhill and getting to the basket, getting to the foul line, getting us in foul trouble. No. We protecting the key too. If you want a shot, you gonna castle. You got to shoot a 3. I'm not saying he can't hit him, but
make him shoot him 100%, Queen. That is fantastic. That's absolutely right.
yep.
Make
Yeah,
him,
that's it.
especially him. Of all the people, like you don't want Champagne shooting a bunch of them.
Right.
He'll knock you senseless. But Castle for sure.
Yep. Let him. Yeah, exactly. All right. Anything else before we close it out with just a quick hit around with the keys to the series?
Oh, we not doing predictions this time?
Oh, and predictions.
We can do that when we finish keys to the series, though. Okay,
Yeah,
like,
sure.
Make it two for one.
Yeah. I just want to give a shout out.
I was about to say maybe the chat.
Yeah, Jerrell looking out for y'all. Listen up, family. Jalen actually was chilling in the Cavs series. Mike Brown hit him. Something going down. Spurs, you've been warned.
He dropped 61 on him 2 years ago. I won't forget that anytime soon.
Oh man,
Talk about revenge. Like you act like like a lot of people act like Brunson don't have like a petty streak and a mean streak in him too.
Yeah.
Wemby threw that 61 ball into the rafters. You remember that?
Yeah.
And we lost the game.
Yeah, that was such an ass move. Sorry, I forgot about that one.
I did not forget.
What the hell was that?
I didn't forget it all.
Sincerely,
Definitely gotta win.
to be honest, we don't know how Mike Brown employs Mitch. I believe it's about the situation. Okay.
True.
I listen, out of all the series, this is the series where I feel like Mitch can do the most damage. And where that double big lineup would just overwhelm them. Like there's no way they could keep the Knicks off the board. You know, I think the Knicks offense could just be take any shot. Just throw it. Just throw it near the rim and we'll get it off. You know,
if it doesn't hit, it's a lob.
Right. Yeah.
It's gonna work.
Yeah.
We gotta shoot 100% on the series, Queen.
Dwayne Dennis, this first game is super important because it sets the tone for the rest of the series. Yeah, no doubt. Top Notch T. I love that name. Let's go, Knicks and Knicks family. Definitely. Nick Yak, one key is how Mitch plays when Cat is resting. Mitch will be fine. I wonder though. I know he was in practice. I saw clips of him,
That beautiful jumper.
Yeah. I just wonder how much that pinky finger impacts his ability to grip the ball on offensive rebounds. Because I think that's an advantage for us right there.
Is it?
The offensive rebounding against this?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
You better grab it with his teeth, Steph. I don't care about that pinky. You can't use that as an excuse. Not in the finals.
Yeah, tape it up. Yeah, but he's
a two-hand guy. He's a two-hand rebounder. So
he had full practice today, so I think he's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
East Blue Drew, Wemby running on 7-game series legs. He's not playing the whole game anyway.
Yeah. Okay. And when he goes to the bench, man, we can definitely cook when he's not on the floor.
We have to cook when he's out. We have to bury them in the non-Wemby minutes.
That is key.
100%. Great point, AJ.
Yeah. And, I'm sure the coaching staff will be keeping track of how we doing those non-Wemby minutes. May not be a bad idea to throw a starter back in there. Yep. You know what I mean? If you're not getting what you need from the bench, it may not be
a starter.
The starting lineup, right,
I'm
Jerrell?
about to say all 5 of them. What are you talking about? I would put all
He
5
said,
of
"No
our
sleep
starters
till
in here.
Brooklyn, baby. You were playing 48 minutes out there."
What you going to sleep for? Like this is the
Yeah, true.
finals, man. Nah.
You getting these Tib minutes. That's what you getting.
Right. Now's the time.
Yeah, now's the time.
Right.
Get rest in a week.
Yeah, I don't expect Jay Johnson to sit that many minutes this series. We keeping him fresh for.
Facts. That's facts. Oh man. Okay. Real short. Keep it to a minute and a half. Keys to winning the series. Jerrell?
Shooting. I know we can be a streaky team sometimes. We're on a hot streak. We need to continue it. That's what it all boils down to. Because if we pack the paint, they pack the paint. Fast break points. Both teams are good at that. The one advantage we have is shooting. And shooting is the reason why I think we're going to win this series. Every series I predicted so far is like I predicted a sweep. I'm not saying a sweep this time. Because of our shooting, I do think we can get them out in 6, though. So yeah, shooting for me, that's the key to the series. The non-Wemby minutes, of course. Cat not having stupid fouls, but it's, he's been pretty good with that when the past couple series. Not too bad, but as long as we play clean basketball, I don't see us losing.
Okay.
That's it.
Nick Nation, key to the series.
I think if Ajay loans me that McDonald's sippy cup he's got, he's been drinking out of. That's the key. No. Sorry. Y'all know I have issues. Sorry. I'll keep it simple. We score more than them.
Thanks.
It took me a while to get that one.
That'll work. That'll work.
Took me a while to come up with that one, but that's my thing. Yeah, I pulled that one from deep. Honestly, to me, I'll go personnel wise is I think that would be an interesting matchup to me on defense is Castle versus Hart. I think that to me, those two guys, they represent and do a lot of the same things and have a lot of that same uncontrollable, wild energy. And I'm just curious to see if those two are the matchup and the outcome of those two.
Playing head to head or just doing what they do for their respective teams?
In both aspects. Head to head, and definitely what they both do is what's the name here, because they're both wild cards at times. Because Josh can be a wild card as far as points of turning over and things like that. But I think the balance point of his ability to rebound, he gets he averages about 4 assists, I believe it is. I think Castle averages somewhere like 6 or 7. So I think that their numbers and their points, I think to me, actually, Hart's a better shooter. To me, is that if you can get Castle shooting, that's what you want. You don't want him, you want to keep him away from the basket because the kid is so strong at the basket. But if you can turn him into a jump shooter, yeah. So I think that those two are like big X factors in the game.
Okay. All right. Ajay?
Defense. No easy basket. Make them work really hard for everything they get. Okay, frustrate them, get under their skins, play good, tough, clean defense on them. By game 2, we're gonna see some linguini legs out there, and then it's just for us to grab, get him tired, not just physically but mentally, like beat him down. They've never been this far, they never played this many games in their lives. I think we just push on that point. Make them work hard, just get him tired and frustrated until they just pretty much break him.
Okay. All right, Geoff?
I think whoever wins game 1 wins the series. I think it's going to be close, nip and tuck. I could see it going 7 games. I think that the Spurs are going to win at least one game at Madison Square Garden, just because Wemby loves to play there, and so I think they'll take that. So, I think that this is a great matchup, 2 evenly matched teams, and I think we're going to get the short end of the whistle because that's the world hates us, and Spurs in 6.
You said Spurs in 6?
Spurs in
What's
6.
going on? Wait, what?
Yeah, that's hey.
Wait, you
it's a
believe we're gonna lose?
It's a possibility.
You think that the
we're
Knicks
not
are
the
gonna
favorite in this series, Nick Nation. I don't know if you go out of Knicks universe sphere for a minute. This is a team that won 60 ball games. They are quite young, quite good, and every real bit of it, they can win this series in 6 games, especially if we drop game 1.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow. Wow.
You guys sound so surprised. That's.
I think
I
you know
was
what I
reading-
think.
I was reading my notes and I was like, whoa, wait, what?
Wait.
I'm not surprised at all. That's why
That's it. That's a possible
Wow.
outcome. That's a possible.
Jeff, blink a few times if your wife is that close, and I know she's a Spurs fan, so blink
He's
real
in
fast.
Ohio right now.
Do the fingers or
Nick
something.
Nation, there's psychology. Look, as soon as I pick the Knicks to win the series, it's over for us. Every time I pick the Knicks to win a playoff series,
Well,
we
by
lose.
all
It's
means,
happened the
I'm
last
not
3
surprised
years.
at all.
You think I'm jeopardizing the finals by not taking the
Yeah.
Spurs? You crazy. I'm doing my part. I'm getting the egg on my face, and I'm going to have Ajay point at me and say, you're an idiot.
No,
You're wrong. And I'm going to take every bit of it. I'm going to eat that crow.
Jeff.
I'm going to put mustard and hot sauce on it. I'm going to love it.
Jeff,
Okay.
listen, man. A lot of bad luck people have been rooting for us, man. You saw what listen. More
That
power
is,
to you.
that is the beautiful thing about picking the Spurs. If you're a Knicks fan, you don't care if you're wrong.
Boy, if you're wrong, you're happy.
Yeah, that's what I'm
You're
saying. Like,
you're
so what?
happy you're wrong.
Oh. Uh-oh.
That was a mistake, I'm guessing.
East Blue Drew. I put East Blue Drew.
That's right.
I banned him by mistake. You go to and then it just moves. East Blue Drew, give me a minute. I'll get you back in here. That was a mistake.
While we're doing that, shout out to A-Train for
Oh,
getting at me because I haven't told people to hit the like button. So you all hit the like button before A-Train comes after me.
okay.
Please save me.
The key to the series to me is the Knicks hitting threes. I'm not sure how much the Knicks are going to score in the paint. I'm not sure how much the Knicks are going to score in transition. I think they're going to have to get back to regular season Knicks putting up 43 pointers, So I think that's going to be a key for the Knicks, hitting threes. I think offensive rebounds and second chance points is going to be key to this series. I mean, the Knicks have to really pound the boards and make them pay for their lack of height. And I think transition defense is another key to the series. Make them shoot over the top. Do not get in rotation. And win that and win that way. And Brunson is going to have to funnel his days when he was in that lineup with Randall, Barrett, and Mitch. He has to get back into that phone booth mentality because he's not going to have a lot of space in that key. This is not going to be the Meadow at Prospect Park. I know Cat is here, right? And you're used to all of that space and you got used to, working in that type of environment. I don't think that's going to be the case against San Antonio. I think he's going to have to get back into phone booth mode and be able to get to his spot real quick with a little bit of space and get off his shot, right? If he's going to operate in the key at all. So those are my keys. Hit threes, offensive rebound, second chance points, and make sure you make them shoot over the top. And one thing I didn't mention when we was talking about Wemby, put him in action. That's another way to get him out to key. put them in those picking, in those picking roles, yeah. So in terms of predictions, Geoff already gave his prediction. Ajay.
I'm picking the Knicks in 6.
Okay. Nick Nation.
You muted.
You're muted, boss man.
I'm gonna say Knicks in 2, baby. That's how.
All right, Freezy.
You know what I'm saying? I like the way Freezy's going down with it. You know what I mean? Hey, listen here. I think if we can bury them in the first 2 games, that's it. So they know it's over. So Knicks in 2, baby. We win the first 2. You come home to the what's name guard. You already know it's over. So I'm gonna say Knicks in 5.
Yeah. Jerrell.
Well, I had already said Knicks in 6, but I kind of want to say 5. But at the end of the day, I don't care. Win the chip.
Get 4.
That's all
no
I care
matter
about.
how. Get 4.
That's all I care about.
Knicks in 6, and that's just because I want to respect San Antonio.
Right.
I just don't see the path I see for them to win this series is they lock down the paint, they lock down transition points, and the Knicks cannot get them in rotation. And the only thing left is contested threes. If they can do that for the Knicks, they win this. To this Knicks consistently,
Right.
they win this series.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see that. I just don't see that happening. I think you take away the paint. The Knicks have played games where they put up 40 shots. I think the Knicks have a lot of really good 3-point shooters. And I think this is as locked as I've seen the Knicks in a long time on both sides of the ball. I don't think they're giving up those downhill shots to Castle and Dylan Harper. And even though the Knicks 3-point defense wasn't great in the regular season, it's been really, really good in the postseason. So Champagne, it's not going to be like before when the Knicks, after he hit 5 in a row, they still didn't think he was on the floor, right? The Knicks are too locked in for that. Like, I just don't see that. I just don't see that happening. And I know we're not the favorites, but I don't understand why. I don't see why we're not the favorites, given the way we're playing offensively, the diversity of our offense, the way we've been playing defensively, the fact that they can't keep us off the boards, that we can hit the 3, we could play inside, we could play outside. I just don't see why we are not the favorites. And this is giving them a lot of respect and not discounting them for their lack of experience. I'm not even taking that. I'm not even giving the Knicks that huge advantage. I'm not saying it's not an advantage, but I'm not giving the Knicks that huge advantage. Even with that, I don't understand why the Knicks are not a favorite. And then maybe when Geoff and I do the recap show, I'll be like, okay, now I understand. But for right now, where I sit, I don't understand why they're the favorite. And I'm not even being a homer. I just don't understand.
Well, because you're not a gambler. But a gambler, the reason why more than likely the Knicks, what's name, is gambling. You're going to put more money when we're New Yorkers and New York fans. New Yorkers going to always buck against the system. So you're going to put more, there's more money flowing in that saying that we're not, as opposed to we are, you know what I mean? So there's more money to be, you know what I mean, flows that way. And to me, this is unfortunate. This is another point of the way the league is. Gambling is everything. So this is so much money being swung. This is unbelievable. This money here matches the Super Bowl probably. And the NBA has never been able to do that.
If all the money is the Knicks betting underdog,
that's how it works. Yes.
That heavily favors the Spurs winning the series, in my opinion.
No, it doesn't. The money, that's not how money point works. Advantages of egos, because we're New Yorkers, we have egos. So we're driven to say, oh yeah, and we're driven to buck against that. I'll bet you against that. But if we were favorite, then it doesn't as much. It just doesn't as much. It's it's a whole mentality thing. But you guys will see with the gambling, what's the name of it? I sat down with a whole thing about that and listened to that too, that nonsense. But it did have its advantage points of it. It's about money. There's so many gambling shows about this but that was the key factor of it.
Yeah, well,
I listen to all kind of crap.
They need to have the betting lines, who's the favorite, and then the basketball line, who's the favorite. Because I think
They're not the same thing. Interestingly enough, that's a good point. That's 100% right. Those are not the same thing.
They're not.
Because
the gambling line is all about where the money is coming from to balance the book, so they're not heavy one side or the other.
Right, exactly. I'm just saying from a basketball perspective, I think the Knicks are the favorite. And that's given all due respect to San Antonio, and particularly Wemby, who is one of the best to play the game already. He's only played 3 NBA games. Like, this guy is
he's unbelievable, amazing. That kid.
The San Antonio Spurs are in the NBA Finals playing a munchkin lineup around him. I mean, I'm not taking it. And those, look, Castle is good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
you know,
that's why I say you got to get him now.
Yeah, Fox is a shadow of himself. Like, I don't think he's 100%. I don't think Fox is 100% healthy.
He's not playing like himself either.
He's not playing like himself.
Good.
Right.
Well, he was coming off an ankle sprain, so that's why that ankle sprain. You know, to get him into a rhythm.
Gotta get him now, man.
But you wait till once
Wemby the year. If you don't get him this time, you may not get him. That
may not, because once Wemby gets strong enough to move you,
it may be a Warriors style run, and we haven't had a dynasty in the NBA in a long time.
I'm trying to be part of his origin story.
Yes,
like I want to be one of his failures in the beginning. I don't care how many championships he won after this.
Amen.
I just need one.
Right. Facts.
Oh, we've been talking about like how competitive he is. Like he won the Western Conference Championship, picking up his. I don't care about none of that. He can still be beat. I don't care. He's not from another planet. He's not really an alien. And if he was, aliens get shot too. Like I'm trying to.
Here comes the Men in Black. He said,
"Yeah."
Like I tell you, once he gets strong enough to physically start moving you with his arms, you can forget it. Yeah, that's it. Once he can physically start moving people, that's it.
Not just that. Once they get a real team around him, get him a power forward, a small forward, like real.
Get him a center, because he's not a center.
I saw Will Smith drag that alien all through the desert, yo. He can be beat right now. I don't care about his future at all. Yeah. I'm trying to win these 4 games.
Yeah. I to me, from a basketball perspective, I think the Knicks are the favorite. San Antonio does present some challenges, though.
Of course.
Yeah, but so do we. All right. Last go around for the chat before we are out of here. Kevin Burke.
Before the chat, Queen, real quick. I don't know if y'all realize that Jeremy Sohan is getting the chip no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we should add that to the bench points for us. We do got some intel.
Yeah,
right.
But yeah, he started the season with San Antonio, end up with the Knicks, so he is getting that ring.
Yeah, either way, he gets it.
Or he's eligible for it.
Man, I don't care if he tell us Wemby like a certain yogurt in the morning. Make sure that hotel don't got the yogurt. Like, we need to win this championship.
Buy out the yogurt like we buy out the tickets
or let him have the yogurt, but expired.
Yeah, unless you overtly cheating. And like, I'm trying to win the chip, man. I don't care about a lot of stuff, man. Like, I'm just trying to win the championship, man. I don't care about ego or none of that stuff. I'm trying to win.
Rafer. Oh no. Somebody's. Oh boy, this is moving.
I think he was asking Sherwin how many games he had.
Right. I don't think the Spurs can beat us. I was looking for something else. It's just moved so fast. If the
isn't there a way to slow it down? Right? There's a way to slow the chats down, isn't there?
It is kind of slow, but for everywhere I go,
I think it's like in the settings or something. You have to set it on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've heard guys say that before, so I just thought it was a thing that y'all know how to do. Sorry, I don't know.
if the Knicks can limit Harper and Castle, we will win. If the Knicks can't limit Harper and Castle, then you need to lose.
Right. One of them is a rookie.
I mean,
an outstanding rookie though,
coming off the bench.
Yeah.
Like if
what's his name, right?
Because of him. If the reason the Knicks lose the championship is because of a rookie coming off the bench, we deserve to lose the championship.
For real.
Championship teams don't lose the championship because of rookies coming off the bench. I don't care how good he is.
Yeah. The same as what's his name, right? For Philly. Who got rookie of the year anyway? Did he get it?
No, Cooper Flag got rookie.
Cooper Flag got that. Yeah, Cooper
Why?
Flag. Oh, because he was killing.
Yeah, Cooper.
No. But how many games did he play though?
Individual award. I mean,
yeah, but if you put him on Philly, you don't think they would have got to the playoffs? Like who was on the Mavericks?
Did he make 60 games?
Yeah,
Cooper Flag?
Nah,
Didn't he get hurt?
Mm-mm.
Cooper Flag, yes, he did. He was hurt for
he played
good season.
He played more than 65. He wouldn't have won the award if he didn't. He wouldn't have been eligible. He definitely would have played 65, and he definitely won the award.
He played 70 games. He played 70, started 70, and averaged 21 points a game. Yeah, he won rookie of the year.
Really?
Yeah, he was killing.
Yeah, really?
It's really good.
I saw him. Well, I was there in the game where he beat us. I was literally at the game.
For the Hornets came in second.
But I just thought he got hurt, and then that was that.
Yeah, man. He averaged 21, 7, and 5. Like
the quietest 21, 7, and 5 you'll ever see because he was buried in Dallas. But
Dallas
he was good all year long.
Yeah, I got it. Okay. East Blue Drew, if you're listening, my apologies. I clicked on the wrong.
Yeah.
And banned you, but I'm gonna take care of it.
Yeah, we gotta give him his 5 minutes back. You know what I'm saying?
Poor East Blue Drew. Look at this. We got
somebody left. Yeah.
Trey always coming in the
when we about to. And like what was his name?
That's my guy. I love Trey, yo. That's what's up, man. Come in.
Trey, what's up, though, man? That's my guy.
Trey gonna come in OT, give us 20. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Trey?
Give us some screen time, bro.
All right, Trey, you got 5 because I got to go to work in the morning, man. How you
doing? My apologies, y'all. I'm trying to settle the house down. Kids asleep. Wife, doing her own thing and stuff. But I've been watching y'all. a little
Don't
bit.
Apologize. AJ just got here too. You good? Rock out.
Yeah, 10 minutes ago.
That's crazy.
10 minutes
That's
ago.
Crazy. Y'all, I mean, I'll be quick about it, but man, I have not gotten great sleep the past few nights. I'm so excited for these finals and this team, and all I could think about is if we do win and what that parade gonna be like, and how many people and how many records are going to be broken with this celebration. It's going to be huge. This is going to outlast. It's going to outdo any Yankee parade, any giant parade in the past. They may have to this parade route probably going to be from downtown all the way to Harlem. I mean, that's how huge I think this is going to be.
Yeah, man. I'm worried about
I think the mayor will have to call it a day because it will disrupt everything. Transit, you name it, everything will be disrupted.
I think it should be a worldwide holiday. If the Knicks win, everything should shut down the next day. I don't care if it's Sunday morning. Lord, we're taking the Sunday off because the Knicks are NBA champions. Thank you, Lord.
He'll be there with us.
From the preacher man, he gonna be missing from the pulpit.
me and God gonna be like this, sipping together. Yeah,
there you go.
I agree, man. It should be a holiday.
Facts. Trey, what's the Knicks? Give me one advantage for the Knicks and one challenge that San Antonio presents. See if it matches up with what we've already talked about.
I will say I'll give you 2 matchups. I'll give you Karl Anthony Towns versus Wemby, and I know that's not going to be the matchup 100%, but what that does to free up the paint area and to get easy buckets, because if he's on Cat and he's doing all the distribution of the offense, he's shooting threes and he's drawing them from that paint, that does wonders, I think, for everybody else. The other matchup is, what Brunson is going to do to these young guards. And I think these young guards for the San Antonio Spurs are athletic. I think that presents a problem. They're quick, fast. They get to their spots pretty quickly. I think that's going to be a challenge also. Brunson has the footwork, I think, to outdo any of those guys. But I also think it's going to be a challenge for the Knicks as well to be able to defend those guards.
Yeah. Thanks. All right. Let us know what you're doing, Trey, before we get out of here.
Yes. The Gotham Grit podcast on the Nothing But Knicks Network. Shout out to the homie Sim Russell, the architect of the whole thing. Just did an episode earlier this afternoon. Shout out to my guy, Dre Day from Brooklyn.
The enemy, that show, man, up there with a nasty Spurs fan.
Oh, you peeped it. You peeped it. Hey, I'll tell you something good. Hey, Jerrell, I'll tell you something good real quick. So I remember last year, and we had him on our show. We had him on the Barbershop Sports Talk podcast. Okay. And we had the top 5 Brooklyn athletes. And I remember coming on to you guys after we did the show. And one of y'all, I think it was you, Jerrell. I think he was like, did he say, what's his name? Went to Erasmus High School. Chris Mullin.
Yeah.
He said, did you mention Chris Mullin? And he was like, nah, he ain't had Chris Mullin. And everybody just kind of like flipped out that he left Chris Mullin out of his top 10 Brooklyn athletes.
He should be up there.
Yeah, he should be up there. He should be up there.
Winning a gold medal with the dream team should get you up.
I don't know. That might have been racism. I don't know. But
that's what it was. He was racist that day. That's all. It was racist. Chris Mullin. I'm from Brooklyn. That was disrespectful.
But yeah, that's him. That was homie that I had on earlier today. Shout out my guy Dre Day. He's got his own podcast and everything. But yeah, he's from Brooklyn. He's a Spurs fan, and we got to the root of all that. But it was a good conversation. So, make sure y'all check out that episode. Really some dope content. And I'll be continuing to do these shows throughout the finals and, hopefully throughout the offseason too.
That's what's up. Yeah, I saw a bit of it earlier. Shout out to Lord Scientist. Salute. We are making history. I miss talking to you guys. Let's go Knicks. We had the phone lines open. I think it was when we did the celebration show. Where were you?
I know, right?
But we did come on at a time that we don't usually come on. But I'll give you a pass. I'll give you a pass. Any last words?
Nah, man. Salute to the chat, man. It's time to make it.
Let's go Knicks.
Let's go Knicks.
Let's get this
tired of talking. Tired of talking.
Next show.
Thursday.
Tired of waiting.
Thursday. We got to talk about because I think that'll give us.
It's only going to be one game though. That's the only thing.
What you guys think?
Well, we're gonna have the show the lunchtime live at any rate, aren't we? Or no, on Thursday.
Yeah, if you're doing that Thursday and we only got one game, I'm up here looking at the I don't know.
We could do some over the weekend.
Maybe Sunday night?
Yes, Saturday night, Saturday or Sunday.
Okay, so don't do Thursday, but I know Geoff can't make Sunday. What about Saturday night, Geoff?
Maybe depends on what time. I'll do my best, but don't do it around me. Y'all can carry a show without me there for sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I can make Saturday.
I don't mind doing Thursday for that one game.
No, I don't mind. I'm just spitballing.
Yeah, you definitely know.
I think the storylines from game one are going to be enough one way or the other. I think it'd be a fire show to have the lunchtime.
I was gonna say you could definitely.
You guys aren't always on the lunchtime live, and we're gonna want y'all's takes on it anyway.
Listen, what do you guys think? I mean, we only got one more week to this. What do you guys think about going Thursday and Monday? Thursday for the one game, and then by Monday we would have 2 games.
No, Monday we play.
We have 3.
We play Monday.
Game 3 is on Monday.
We don't have a game over the weekend. We play Friday and then Monday, right? It's
right.
Wednesday, Friday, Monday.
Yeah. All right.
a weird schedule.
I tried.
Double
But yeah, I
travel
think
day.
we should go Thursday. And because I think like today we were talking about what we think the advantages is from a statistical schematic, but we'll know. we'll
see it
have
live and in person.
I think you should do Thursday game 1 recap, Sunday game 2 recap, game 3 preview.
Game 3 preview. Game
on
3
Sunday. Game 3 is
On
on
Sunday,
Monday.
Right. So your Sunday show, do game 2 recap, game 3 preview.
Yeah, 'cause we'll be going back to the Garden.
we will be going back.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So
Yeah.
Thursday and Sunday?
Man, we'll see. We up there putting the chat on and the
Right.
background stuff. Y'all
It's the
do-
championship.
we'll be on when we get on. You know what I'm saying?
It's the championship. Let's do every day.
We in the finals. We'll get on when we get on. We're not going, we're not going to disappear.
Notifications on and you be good.
8 days a week, baby.
That's true. That's
Well,
true.
We should have ended the show 10 minutes ago up there talking about when the next show going to be.
Yeah, that's true. We can do that in the chat. Wiz, we appreciate you stopping by Top Notch Tea. Tomorrow, the Knicks are playing in the NBA Finals.
Ooh.
Let's pause. The Knicks are playing in the NBA Finals tomorrow. Can't wait. Go New York.
They're
Go
still
New York.
playing it. It's
Oh.
June and we're still playing basketball.
And not in the park, right?
Knicks forever.
Great time.
Not in
Not
the
in
rock.
the park. There ain't no rec league, you know what I'm saying?
Right,
Great
right,
time.
Knicks
Great
fan.
times to be a Knick fan.
for sure. You know what? I have to real quick the outro video because I was doing something else.
Or you was just going to cut us off like you was hanging up on us.
Yeah. Here it is. Outro video. Yeah.
Hey, and for the people out there and what's name, if you're not doing anything on tomorrow, I think it's at 7:00. KRT Knicks Real Talk will be on to get you guys
course.
right before the
Yeah. Let me
Best
tell you.
free
You want
show
to
of
be
the game.
pumped up for a game?
my man Devon.
Shine the vine, yo.
On the vine, they're the best.
Really?
You shine the vine.
Yeah.
Salute to
Definitely.
them.
I'll be tuning in for sure. All right, family. Until next time. Peace.
Sister, you one of a kind.
Yes.
Oh, sister, it's time you
That's her.
shine.